For the first time since being re-elected mayor of North Charleston, Keith Summey speaks exclusively to me for a special edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. Here we sit inside the mayor's office here at the city of North Charleston, and I have to start this interview with some developing news. As you know, just a few minutes ago, the State Infrastructure Board basically told Charleston County that they have to have $353 million before March. I know that Representative Chip Limehouse is opposed to it, as well as your son, Charleston County Chairman Elliott Summey. And they basically want the board to give them 30 days to come up with another decision. I'm wondering, as we sit here right now, where is your mind?
Well, I think it'd be horrible if we don't complete 526. The people that have fought it have been successful enough. They have driven the cost up by almost $200 million. And that's one of the problems we have in South Carolina.
Yes.
We don't complete the projects when we start them. This thing should have been moving forward and completed in a very short period in the second phase. Now it's gotten so costly, and you still got a number of people that weren't even here when it was planned fighting it.
Right.
So, you know, I just think it's sad because I hope one of those individuals that are fighting it's not one of the people that can't get to an emergency room when they need it because the traffic's backed up.
Right.
So I just think all of our roads in South Carolina are so important, and it's the one thing I think we've been the most neglectful of as a state.
Well, let's switch forward. Let's switch topics, that is. And talk. I'm tongue-tied today.
Hey, I've been there.
Yes, sir. And talk about the election. Obviously, you won re-election, and you will be the mayor for the next 4 years here in the city of North Charleston.
Yes, sir.
And afterwards, you held the victory party, and you made some controversial comments. But let me talk to you about that. You said, quote, "It was not a nice election. It was a rather nasty election, and I will not forget the nastiness, and there will be some retribution in the future, for I am not going to put up with it." And here's another quote. "We are one community, and we will continue to move forward. Those that are naysayers, get the hell out of the way." I'm curious, after you said that, where were you emotionally?
Well, first of all, there were some very nasty things put out on YouTube and all Twitter and all that stuff. Not about me, I can handle that.
Yeah.
But when you start messing with my family and you start messing with my friends, Katie Pryor, who is very close to me, we're like brothers, and Sherry, who works with me in the office, were being talked about and treated horribly on the internet because they supported me.
Wow.
Reverend Robinson,
Right.
fine gentleman, one of the finest. Basically, they referred to him as a coon. And, you know, we can disagree. And I can tell you, they were not supporting me because I was white. They were supporting me because of my track record and how we've worked well together.
Right.
To me, it was a big issue. It was basically on the other side trying to separate it into a racial race. I wasn't raised to be that way, and so I went after all votes, black, white, and look at my record. And, you know, instead of trying to take us back to the 60s, let's keep moving forward.
Yeah.
And I saw that as what was happening, and it upset me. It doesn't mean that they're not going to get the services they deserve. It means that if you are going to sit there and fight us trying to do things to make your life better, we will move it to somebody who wants their life better. And overwhelmingly, 90% of the community wants their lives enhanced and improved. And we'll continue to work with them to do it. The other day, we took 80 kids shopping for Christmas with the police department.
Right.
We gave out 210 bicycles 2 weeks before that to kids. And so we're out doing the things we need to do within the community. We're not perfect. We are not afraid to try new, innovative ideas.
Right.
But I think the shooting that occurred back in April, Mr. Scott, I think they tried to take that and use it when in essence we handled it the best we could. We fired the individual, said he should be charged with murder. We settled with the family. We didn't wait for a lawsuit. Let's move on. And let them move on as well. That's important.
Yes. Speaking of which, you mentioned this in the previous statement, but as far as vision, let's talk about that, because you're now reelected for the next 4 years, and we all know that you have Tanger here, you have Verizon, you have Boeing. When you look at North Charleston 4 years from now, what do you see in your mind?
I think you'll see expansion. If you go over into Tanger today, we've got 3 more restaurants under construction. We've got a new chair store, Lazy Boy, under construction. We've got a new hotel coming into that property. We've got another hotel under construction on Montague, and we've got other people that are contacting us daily about growing in the Park Circle area. We got 271 apartments coming by the Beach Company, and we've got companies that we're working with to relocate into North Charleston. But we're also working to help those jobs come to Berkeley County and Dorchester County. We all benefit from the economic growth that occurs with that. Our retail stores really benefit from it. We're the #1 retail retail city in the state, and we continue to be that. In fact, the margin grows annually. So the more that we can offer the general public to come here, we got Garth Brooks coming for a concert. It's already sold out. In an hour, it's sold out 4 shows.
That's right.
So you've got 36,000 people coming to see Garth Brooks in 3 nights.
Wow.
And while they're here, they're going to eat in the restaurants, they're going to shop. Some of them will stay in the hotels. So we reap that benefit. The 2 major issues that I see that we've got moving forward, one is education. We have got to prepare our young people more for the workforce that's out there, and we have to encourage those. The other issue, and this is something I have not been able to locate the right people to get it started, but we've got to do something about the young black males that are being murdered in the Tri-County. We're up to about 70 so far this year. The other day we had a 15 and a 16-year-old black male shot. We just arrested a 15-year-old kid that did it. Said they were playing. You don't play with guns. It's scary, and I think that we've got to, as a community as a whole, address that. Because if you've got someone that shoots someone and kills them, the family's life, the person that got killed, is damaged for life. The shooter's family's life is damaged for life as well. And so, we have to find ways to convince our young people to go back to where we were when I was coming up. You pushed and shoved, and that was about it. We didn't use knives and guns and things of that nature. I think somehow, to all of our young people, and this is on all sides of color, we have to teach them the value of life and the value of everyone's life, not just theirs, but other people's as well. And if we don't, this is going to be a continually growing problem that we have. We need to deal with it.
And someone who's going to be on board with you as far as making decisions and collaborating with issues here in the state is John Deckerberg.
Oh, yes. John's a nice guy. I've known John for a number of years. His wife is a native North Charlestonian, and she's a great girl. We've done work with South Carolina Strong together. We house them on the Navy base, and John and his wife have been wonderful contributors to that program. We've actually hired a few of those guys recently that have come out of the system, and we'll continue to work with them to accomplish that. I think it's one of the best programs that we've we've seen with working with people that are coming out of the incarceration and getting ready to go back into life. Prepares them. In fact, one of the guys we hired still lives there, and but now he pays rent until he gets comfortable enough that he can know he's on his feet and can walk a level path.
And a lot of people will be missing Joe Riley.
Joe is one of the finest individuals that I've ever known. And because he represents Charleston and I represent North Charleston, we've had a few little headbutts over the last 21 years that I've been there. But I can tell you, he will go down in history is not the best mayor that ever served Charleston or the best mayor that ever served in South Carolina. I think he will go down as the best mayor that ever served in this country.
I agree. Well, Mayor Keith Summey, it's always good talking to you.
Always a pleasure.
Yes, I appreciate it.
Thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful Christmas and a Happy New Year.
You too. I need a vacation.
That's right.